What's up, Pete Ratio Sports? We are the Twilight Rate, golfing in the night. That's how we do. Getting ready for tomorrow's almost pretty much end of the Cali trip. There is one after this, the Genesis, obviously, but we're wrapping up the West Coast tour, and we got a winner last week, but we're ready to pick some more today, and we'll talk about that and so much more as we get into the show. I'm Dave Gleckner. That's my man, Mark Drumheller. Welcome back, man. Getting out of that lazy river is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a minute, but and the two flipped over, right? We got all wet. The bets didn't come through, took all our money. Money's all wet. We get out of the pool, and but we still got the credit cards. They're intact. So we fire up the sportsbook account, deposit the money, and we got another one ready to go this week. So hopefully we can get on the winning track, get back to some smooth sailing.
I love it, man. Yeah, sometimes those rivers can get a little bit like rapids out there. But you know what we do? We navigate. We get right back on track. And that's what we'll do this week. And one that's really, I'm going to be honest. I hate these effing tournaments that sit here and play these like with these celebrities and these 3 different courses. I just want to like put my feet in the ground, put the spikes in the turf, settle down and eat one up. And that's what we did last week at Torrey Pines. These ones, there's just a lot of variation here. I wish they played Pebble all 4 days. Then I could really... But, it's what we got this week. It's the last funny one of the season. So I think we'll get it right.
Yeah. And listen, it's a lot of big names in here. A lot of, the field's pretty good. I think there's going to be some opportunities for some unknown, golfers might not be as popular to kind of pop in there. There were a couple long shots that I was looking at, settled in on the top 20, but, it's going to be interesting. I mean, listen, you look at last week, Luke List, you know what I mean? Comes out of nowhere, gets it done in the playoff against Zalatoris. Willie Z just so close, just can't get there.
Can't putt. He can't putt.
Yeah, can't putt.
Yeah, well, going over last weekend, you sent yours in. I did a quick clip here. And one of the big things was with List, he finished 10th last year at Torrey. He's just such a good ball striker. It's always the putting. One of the first tournaments in Luke List's history, he finished positive strokes gained and putting. And really, I'm going to tell you, that was the difference. He makes a putt. Now, I was sweating it the whole way. He missed the 3-footer on 13, a 4-footer on 17. I'm like, come on, bro. But he buried a 12-footer on 18 and then had to sit for an hour, 45 minutes. Sticks it within an inch, on 18. Willie's got to roll one and can't. And you just feel good for Luke because it finally came through. He's been close at so many tournaments. The stick, and that's what Torrey is, right? It's a long hitter's course and a great iron player. And that's what he is. You saw the skill up there. Jason Day, Justin Rose. That was just a really good tournament. I hit some Sungjae plus 10, top 10 plus 300.
Nice.
That's my list in the matchup over Tringali, which got a little closer than I thought. So it was overall a good week. But now we're going to go to AT&T Pebble Beach. And I'll throw up a couple key stats here, Drums. Looking at this, they played the 3 courses, as we mentioned, Monterey, Spyglass, and Pebble Beach. Spyglass being the hardest of the 3. So if you can pick up a couple good numbers there, maybe a 69 or so, nice. You can really pick up a couple strokes on the field. Monterey's the easiest, with Pebble coming in as the second easiest. Over to the right, we're talking each one of these courses. Unfortunately, this is not a driver's dream. These are short courses out there. Usually wind plays a factor. Not sure we'll play much of one this week. The key here is Poana greens. People hate these things. Poana can grab your ball, make it twist different ways. The other things people say in a Pro Am, you got amateurs stomping on the greens, making, cleat marks. Who knows? And it's one of the hardest tournaments, this tournament, to putt inside of 5 feet. And it's probably because of the green and, the way it's kept with all these amateurs playing. Other thing to keep an eye on, average winning score lately, it's another shootout, minus 18. And I'm being told the greens are running slow on the stint meter, 10.5. So you're going to need some guys that are, pounding through the mud almost, as they call it. One of the stats to know at the bottom here, let me get the banner off the screen. All winners here since 2000 have had a top 16 finish at Pebble Beach, whether it's in a U.S. Open or at this Pro Am. You got to look for people that actually play this course, because there's a couple that I love this week that just don't play here much. And I've had to fade them off the win, but maybe I looked at them in a different form. So really, you've had to play here, and you've had to play some decent golf. So that's one thing we're going to look at this week. So, Drums, I'm going to lead it off with you. I know you looked at one sitting right there in the top 20, is it?
Yeah, top 20. We're going to get back in action. But before I do, I want to say I like how you left the banner there until the end. Then you pull it off right before you talk about this stat. It was like the big reveal. It was
Yeah,
nice.
you
It was
just
like, you hide it from the audience and then you bring it right in. Very nice. Very nice how that showed. But
no
listen,
intentional.
absolutely. And I'm going to go to a guy who, has been inconsistent a little bit in the sense of, he's performed very well in 3 of the last 5 events. He got, cut into 2 events in between, right? He didn't perform well. And that's Cameron Tringali, 2nd at Zozo, 7th at Houston, 3rd at the Farmers. But when I look at his skill set, what he can bring to this course, top 20 total, top 25 total strokes gained, right? He gets birdies, right? 7th in birdies. I think, he can have success here at Pebble Beach. His putter's top 20. The bet's top 20, getting them at plus money, depending on, your book, right? 120 at DraftKings right now. You can get plus 120 odds for Tringali to get in that top 20. I took him at BetGM plus 115. They don't do dead heat odds, right? If he gets tied for 20th, he gets in there. So a little bit of a shorter price, a little bit more of a safety net. I went with BetMGM, but, good price. You get good plus money there with Tringali. And, I think he's going to buck the trend, right? He's performed well. It's been in like the top 7. Then he gets cut. Then he performs well again. Then he gets cut. Then he performs well again. I think he's going back to back. He's going to bring it and get it done at Pebble Beach. So I got Tringali plus. I got a 115, but you can get a plus 120 at DraftKings.
I like it, man. So Tringali, he's a guy. It's very hard for you to ever press the button on winning. Sort of like Luke List, but if you watch Luke List win last week and you're a Tringali fan, it maybe bubbles up that confidence, percolates it a little, because Tringali and List are very similar players. They're great ball strikers. It's the short stick and it's the Sunday closers that they have trouble with. And Cameron had another good finish last week, as you saw. He really shined out there. I think top 20 is a really nice play with him. I won't touch him up for a winner for a while, but if we can start to ride him in these top 20s, he is playing some great golf. Like you mentioned, Zozo is a course that people have said very similar to this one. Would you say 7th?
Yeah, top 7. So, 3 events in the last 5, top 7. He was 2nd at Zozo, I think, 7th at Houston, and 3rd at the Farmers. So, obviously coming off the, 3rd place finish, the other 2 went to the playoffs, but when he's been on. Now the other 2 events in between cut, right? We lose, you're out early. That's how the game goes. But I think he's going to follow it up with another good performance. I think he's starting to get into form. And like I said, the putting, has been strong. So I think that, he's definitely going to be able to deliver here for us, get us the money. I think, the odds getting plus money with him, top 20, I think very, very strong play.
I love it. Good pick, man. All right, I'm going to roll off a couple of winners outright for you guys. I always like to say I'd probably put 1 to 2 units on my top couple and try to spread it out about 8 units across these, 4 or 5 picks here. Last week hitting a half unit on List brought back a positive 35 because he was 80 to 1. So there's some other ways to attack this, but that's what I would do. So I'm looking at my top 2 right away. Justin Rose is my first one. Guy, played real well again at Pebble last week, even scared it. He coming down the stretch, he needed to eagle, I think, the 18th, and it plopped one in the water. He was going for it, and he just caught it a little heavy. The guy, he's played some good golf of late. Looking at it, he was 6th at the Farmers, obviously 33 at the Amex, 12th at the RSM. Positive strokes gained punted in all those 3, which is kind of key here. You got to at least be able to roll it a little bit. Another thing, he led the field with strokes gained or approach, or was in the top 3 with 5.4 last week strokes gained approach. So a guy that's really hitting his irons well. What I also like about Rose, and looking at another number here, there were some things that I looked at, and one of the big ones was recent play at Pebble Beach. He's top 10 in the last 24 rounds. Pebble Beach scores strokes gained total. So I do like Rose. I do like his form. He's finished well here before. So Rose is one that really fits my model. One that doesn't, but I just got to play him. Seamus Power. He's just been top 20s for about 6-7 straight tournaments. I played him Amex at 30 to 1. You could get 30 to 1 at Caesars. He's down to 25, 22 to 1 at DraftKings. Once we got Berger dropping out, his odds did slighten a little. So those are my 2. And if you've seen Pebble Beach, it's usually people with 31 odds or less that have won, or 101 odds. It's this middle range that we haven't found winners in quite some time, over a decade. But I'm going to give you two other in the middle here that I do like. The first being Kevin Streelman. Looking at him, this is another horse for the course. Really, this is a short course. They all are short courses. Your wedge game is really important here. Proximity to the hole from 100, 125 was the key stat I looked at. He's 4th overall in his last 24 rounds. He's 1st overall playing here at Pebble Beach, strokes gained total in his last 24 with the field that is there. So those two are huge. He's also 15th in putting on the Pro Am green. So those three stats in the top 15, really like Streelman at 40-1. I think it's worth the value. And then
him being able to putt on these greens is going to be huge, I think. I like both those guys, especially Rose. I know a lot of people on Rose, and, he just seems like he's right in the form as well.
Rose, it just like the guy I don't like this week. And before I give my fourth, now let me ask you, I don't like Jason Day. I don't know what it is. I think
hard to trust sometimes.
Hard to trust. A little bit injured, and then I don't know if he can just keep playing. This will be 3 straight weeks. I just think what gasses now his track record at Pebble's been great, but I just think he's like can be very public. I don't like Day this week.
Yeah, could be wrong time for him. Could be a timing thing.
Yeah, I think so too. And then another one I'll ask you about, because I just can't get with 7-1, 6-1. Cantlay is awesome, but that's a waste of money to me. If he hits, cool. It's like to me, it's like taking insurance on blackjack. I just
the value's gone. Yeah, the value's gone on him. Yeah, you're not.
It's gone. All right, the last 2 picks I do want to give. I will Bezaden Holt. I'll sprinkle a little 50-1. A guy that in another metric, obviously the proximity 100 to 125. He's 3rd. So he's right there with Streelman. So Christian Bezaden Holt, another guy, he was rolling close over at the Amex a couple weeks ago, faded. But I'd like him to be in contention. So 50-1 is worthwhile. And then I'm going to give you a name. And I liked him last week, talked about it. He didn't come through as the top South American. But this week, I think it's going to happen. Mito Pereira. Give me him top 20. Mito. You got top 20 action. I got top 20 action with Mito.
I was looking at Mito. Mito, man.
He's won 3 on the Corn Ferry Tour. And then, a lot of times he's played like these little gimmick courses on the PGA, but finally played a real man's course last week and finished like 23rd, 24th, and really performed well. -9, I think he finished. So I'm like,
he's like right outside that top 20 all the time, and you just wonder when he's going to make that leap, And
yeah. And I liked the putting game last week. So Mito at +180, top 20, really like that one. So I'm going to plug that one in. And then one matchup I really like for the tournament. I looked at your boy Tringali against Day. I thought that was a pretty good winner pick, but I actually settled in on Matt Kuchar -105 over Denny McCarthy. Kuchar, I don't think he'll win it, but Kuchar has actually been trending in the right direction. Had a really good Sony. He was in the mix the whole time. And this is a shorter course, and it really involves wedge play. One of the best wedge players in the game, sort of similar to Kisner. I'll take Kuchar -105 versus Denny McCarthy. So
now, is that a round 1 or is that for the whole thing? Is that a round 1 or is that the whole thing? The whole tournament?
That's
nice.
Yeah.
I like that one.
We just want to say Cooch a couple times.
Cooch and Mito, man, we're rolling.
Yes, we are. Dude, it's good stuff. That's I'm looking forward to it. There are some goofy things that go along this week. I'm sure we'll see Bill Murray out there in his plaid pants or some of this. But the one I'm looking forward to, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm looking forward to see Josh Allen. What do you think about him? Like he should probably be playing still, but he said I'm going to go grab the sticks.
I know. Hey, as long as he stays healthy, they got Joe Brady now, right? So they just hired Joe Brady to be the quarterback coach. They elevated Dorsey, so things are looking good in Buffalo. Bills Mafia, I don't think they're going to miss a beat.
And that's Ken Dorsey, right?
Yeah, Ken. Did I call him something else? Ken Dorsey, yeah.
No. You just said Dorsey. I'm saying it is Ken Dorsey, right? Yeah,
Ken
the
Dorsey,
old Miami. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady linking up to get that Buffalo passing game to make sure it stays intact with Daboll leaving. So all good stuff there for the Bills, man. So I think Jay Allen, listen, as long as he stays healthy, I'm good.
Yeah, I know. I just think, there's some personality with Josh Allen. So that's why he's the one I'm kind of most interested in seeing out there this week. I mean, big kid, too. We saw how strong that arm is. I can't really wonder you've been playing football for probably 26, 27 straight weeks here. How that golf game is, but I'll be excited to see him out there.
Yeah, he spent 1 week in the house. It was 1 week too many.
He's got to get out there. Well, he deserves it. And hey, we're gonna have a big Super Bowl. I know we'll talk about that come Saturday on Betting for Breakfast on the Sharp app. So we'll get into that. Those that follow us on there. I had a good weekend last weekend, and obviously we're gonna break down the game, give you some early prop bets, right?
Yep. Yeah, we'll look at some props, some of the stuff we got in the account. Haven't fired on the side or total yet, but we'll definitely do so. Whether we do that by Saturday show or we save that for the week before the Super Bowl, who knows? But we'll have some bets for everybody for sure. And just talk about the game from a schematic standpoint. It's a intriguing matchup. First time you get 2 4 seeds in the Super Bowl. So interesting stuff.
It's really crazy. I mean, if Stan Frame pulled it off, it would have been 4 or 6. I mean, it's kind of, and I know, it's kind of really cool because it's probably what the NFL wants. They want everybody to have a chance. Yeah. Good stuff, buddy. So, hey, the one thing I am excited about, I loved last week with golf finishing on a Saturday and then me getting to dig in on Sunday and just watch some good football. Well, this week with no football, we get back to some regular golf action, and I get to see some Sunday closing stuff. So it'll be good watching
some Sunday sweats. You'll have the Sunday sweats at like 8 o'clock waiting for these guys to finish up.
I can't wait, man. I love the Sunday sweats. That means that I'm doing good work on the couch. So that's to our show this week. We got some good winners. I popped out 4 drums. It's got a top 20 for you with Cameron Tringale. I'm matching with a top 20 with Mito Pereira. And then we're going with a tournament matchup with Cooch.
Love it.
See how that goes. I will post some round by round matchups as we go. Last week hitting in a 6-2-1 rate. So let's see if we can keep the fire going, bud.
Very nice, very nice. I'm trying to turn it around. Two last 2 picks got cut, so we're probably about 0.4 units down. But we're gonna get some plus money this week with Tringale and get right back in the mix.
That's what we did. And if you were 2-2 with 2+ picks, you're looking really good. So we'll see how this goes. We'll trend it out this week on Twitter. Until next week on the Twilight Rate for Heat Ratio Sports, I'm Dave Gluckner. That's Mark Drumheller. Until then, 4